Hi, everybody. Welcome into Talking Town, a forum where we can console, commiserate, and counsel each other after that. I mean, bloody hell. 4-3. What a game. What a roller coaster ride. I mean, so much to unpack. We'll unpack it all tomorrow, obviously. You may be wondering why I'm here and not Martin. Martin, also like the likes of Sam Morsey today, hasn't made the starting 11. He's a little bit under the weather. So we're going to start with, I think we've got Beep. Am I right, Martin? We've got Steve to come in with us. Steve, well, you're still breathing, mate. I mean, bloody hell, 4-3. I mean, let's just give it some context. We've shown some fantastic attacking prowess, haven't we? We've gone 2 up. The defensive frailties have come through again. We've conceded 3 in 7 minutes either side of half time, Steve. Somehow get it back to 3-3 up with 10 men, and then another defensive error at the end, keep a mistake, basically, Muric and O'Shea getting muddled. And we've lost 4-3. Thoughts? What are your thoughts, Steve?
Well, I have to start off by saying at the beginning, I didn't expect us to get anything from that game anyway. Yeah, I think for me, best of what we could have got was a draw. So that doesn't explain the defensive errors, but as you always hear in football, is like, you know, the best defenses are the ones that are consistent and the ones that build partnerships and the ones that play together regularly. You know, we've had nearly a different defense every single game.
Yeah, we have. You're right. Yeah.
We're not able to build the partnerships in defense. You know, you've got O'Shea, you've got Wolf, they're all coming in. Some of them aren't good enough, and we know they're not good enough. Yeah, but we have to play with the hands that we're dealt. Yeah. Everybody can pick out individual players and say, well, this one's not good enough, this one's good. But we don't know that, yeah? They're all playing with different partners. You know, if you all played, and I said this at the start of the game, I said maybe these players not being well or being ill might be a blessing in disguise, because we'll come and see some players who might step up. I think Hurst stepped up today, and that'll be a big boost for him. I think Clark did well until he's sending off.
Agreed.
For me, I don't think it was a penalty. I think, you know, I was always told the start, you know, that guy was falling. He was falling down before he even entered the box.
They said it was the continuation of the foul, I think was V.A.R's.
Before he got into the box.
Yeah,
he just ended up on the floor in the box.
Yeah.
You know, he's going down beforehand. You know, if it was 10 yards out, he would have fell over long before the box. You know what I mean? The top of it is like, that's not what the rules say. The rules say you do it from where the initial contact is made. I've always seen people running into the box after the contact's made and they've never given a penalty.
It's not been our friend, is it, V.A.R, in the llast week? We had the Everton penalty last week, then they got the pen given this week, and they're offside. Well, it was marginally, it was given onside, wasn't it? Was it the equaliser? Yeah, the equaliser, wasn't it, for 2-2? But it's not been our friend, is it?
You know, there's certain things in that. Our defence wasn't great. We didn't defend very well.
No.
You know, I think it was the second. Was it the first? I don't know. One of the goals. O'Shea is looking at the ball and not the man, and the man gets in behind him. You can't. That's suicide in the Premier League. You can't do that. Yeah. Don't worry where the ball is. The ball will come. Yeah. Worry about where your man is. And he had no idea where his man was, and his man got away from him, and he got a touch. You know.
Yeah.
Focus on getting in front of the man and stopping the ball, because he could have done that. He could have done that, but he was too focused on the ball that he didn't realise where the man was. You know, and the first goal, come on, why was he even allowed to make that pass through? We went in to make the tackle. Yeah, if you can't make the tackle, take the yellow card and chop him down. Simple as that. And the ball doesn't even go in the box. I know we're all picking. I know that's just picking up. You know, bit picky. You could say, well, he might not have scored, but he did. You know. There's always those moments, you know, but am I too disheartened? No, I'm not. Yes, we can all say, well, we were 2-0 up, we should have won. Yeah, it's Brentford.
You're never disheartened, Steve. I've never seen you disheartened.
You can't be. You know, if I went to that game and I didn't expect us to win it anyway, it's like going against Man City and saying, well, we're 1-0 up, we should win this. We weren't going to win it. Let's be realistic. They are better than we are. I know it's Brentford, and people are always disrespectful to Brentford and go, "No, they're a crap little side. They've got a stadium with 200 people in it. They're better than we are at the moment." And that's the. But we held our own. And at the end of the day, if a centimetre to the left, we get 4-4.
There's a head of a shot from Delap, that, wasn't it? I mean, bloody hell, what a strike! I suppose he gives you slightly different attributes, doesn't he, than what Hurst does. I mean, like, I agree with you. I think Hurst done very well today. He's not going to give you that kind of shot right at the death that Delap did. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell, could you imagine if we'd scored there to make it 4-4?
The thing is, I think the team's stuck at the moment, stuck in between a bit of a rock and a hard place. Last week we were all bemoaning, poor defensive mistakes, but we were toothless up front. This week we were a bit more forward thinking, and we were still had defensive mistakes. I do think a lot of these defensive mistakes are down to the fact players are playing with different people every week.
Yeah,
and
it's a good point.
When we
happen at Leicester next week as well, Steve, because obviously Clark gets the red and that's thrown someone else out of the defensive mix.
Someone else will be, I don't think, everybody was calling for O'Shea at right back because he played there for Republic of Ireland. I didn't think he was very good last week at right back, but he's going to have to play there.
He's going to be there next week, I think. Yeah.
We've known, everybody was moaning about Johnson, saying he was rubbish when he didn't cost us any goals against West Ham. At the end of the day, it was other people who cost the goals. He might not have played well, but I don't think anybody played well that day. No. It's not about digging people out. I think we're on the right path. We're getting the right direction. Is there enough time for us to save ourselves? Yes. Will we go down? I don't know. Yeah. It's like because there's too much to play for. A lot of the time, we've never played Brentford at this stadium, which makes a difference. Some of these teams we haven't played for 20 years. Yeah. You can't judge yourself against a team at least until you've played them once. And then second time round, you can say, right, they did that to us. Let's do this, this, and this. Yeah. And I think everyone's judging it. Like even you and Martin on the other week judged it against last season. We can't judge anything that happens this season against last season. People are saying put Amari on the right. He'll skin fullbacks. These are not championship fullbacks. These are international top level fullbacks who could get into virtually most teams in the country. Yeah. And they are not, I don't know, Oxford's fullbacks or Plymouth's fullbacks. They're just not.
No, agreed. I mean, with Amari missed out today, didn't he, with illness?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Benny got carried off. Not sure. We're going to find out.
For those who want Amari on the right, might make it a bit easier for Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, that might take away the argument now, mightn't it? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how serious Benny's injury is. We might find out post-match. If you know in the comments, do tell us. I mean, certainly going back to that defensively, Stephen, and on the winning goal that Mbermo scores. I mean, certainly, I think if you look at the replay, Muric thinks O'Shea's going to head that clear.
Yeah,
they've kind of left it for each other because it was a cross, wasn't it? It's a cross, really.
It was not a shot. It was a cross. Yeah. It was one of those where, the keeper delayed because he thought his defender was going to clear it. It didn't look like the defender were going to clear it, I must admit, but he thought he did, so he went down late. It happens. You just have to say, right, fair enough. These things happen. Sometimes cross-come shots go in, and is it a mistake? Yes. Can you do anything about it? Not really. You could say the defender should have jumped higher, or Muric could have got down quicker. What if he goes down quicker, the defender heads it goes to somebody else, he's already on the floor and somebody bangs it back.
Yeah.
His fault then. He's got to think of both these options. What if the defender heads it? Because we've had this before where the defender's headed it, the keeper's gone down to try and stop the shot and they've shot it in the goal. He's got to think of, well, what if the defender heads it and it doesn't go to one of my players and it goes to their players and I'm on the floor, and they bang it on the other side. I'm not getting it, So he has to think of both of these options, and he delayed, and we didn't head the ball, and the ball went in the net. It was a good cross, but it was a bit like McKenna was saying. We're on the wrong side of fine margins. That was them being on the right side of fine margins. And 2 minutes later, again, we were on the wrong side of fine margins.
The woodwork. Yeah. How did you think Calvin played? I was a little critical of Calvin over the last few weeks.
He played one of his best.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I thought he played very well. Yeah, I agree with you.
He was excellent today.
Do you think that was because? I've kind of floated this before. Do you think that whoever plays in midfield with Morsey sometimes finds themselves in the shadow of Morsey just because he's such a huge character and the captain of the club? I just wonder today, the shackles off a little bit. Maybe you just felt more comfortable with Cajuste there. I don't know. I'm just sort of just throwing something out there, but interesting that Morsey doesn't play and Phillips says his best game, or perhaps he just felt the need to step up more in with the captain being absent.
Well, I think he's played well before. He played well at Villa. He played well at Fulham. You know, he's had good games. He's still working himself back into playing. You know, so I think it's more like it's going to be something where he needs time and we need patience with him, and he's going to have off days. But they're all going to have off days because we've stepped up a level. You know, I enjoyed today. It was I didn't enjoy the result. No, I didn't enjoy. I'll be honest, I didn't enjoy the result, but I didn't expect much for the result before it started. When we were 2-0 up, I was like, bloody hell, half hour here. And I put on Discord, I said, look, I don't care what happens now. I don't care what happens now. I said, I'm just enjoying the first half hour. You know, that'll do me. You know.
Because we could have gone 3-up, Steve. Could have gone 3-up when we were 2-0 up. I mean, Smollett had a great chance, didn't he, to make it 3.
You know, we had some really good chances today, which is more than what we can say about last week. And the top and bottom of it is it's about finding that balance. And I don't think that balance is helped by us keep getting in illness and injury, you know. And a lot of them are probably just freak injuries that we can't do anything about. Rather than run a bad luck, you know. And all I can say is when we're having a bit of bad luck and we're finding it difficult to get results, other teams around us are finding it difficult to get results, and they're not having as much bad luck as us. Their bad luck will come. You know, you take V.A.R out of Leicester, they've got nothing, you know. And pretty much Saints have got nothing. Wolves don't look like they've got much, you know. And it's one of those things. When they start having some bad luck, which all teams do have bad luck, you know, we're having it now. We might not have any more after a few weeks. And once you get into New Year, you know, and the window opens, and we can start getting a few fresh faces in, which Ashton said will be active in January, which I don't doubt we won't be, you know. Maybe replace some players we don't think after the first few weeks are good enough. Second half of the season, we might improve. Will we improve enough? I don't know. But the top and bottom of it is, it's like I've said, at the end of the day, this season was a free hit. It always was. You can't go up 2 leagues in 2 years and expect to have a side to compete. The side has just grown quicker than the club could grow.
Yes, exactly. Victims of our own success. We said it last week, Steve, didn't we? Victims of our own success.
And we're going to do the best we can. If we stay up, marvellous. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. We'll go down with a better squad, with a hell of a lot more money than we had when we were in the Championship last time. Yeah. And all I can say is, if a side like, you know, that wasn't our first strength side going up against Brentford.
Felt like bare bones.
Brentford has never lost at home. You know, they even beat Liverpool at home. And we went up against them, and they were lucky. Let's not. You know, we had 10 men, and they were lucky to get it. They were lucky to win.
Yeah,
you know, the top and bottom of it is, even if we do go down, our side is, if they're that capable of doing that against Brentford at Brentford, they're capable of doing anything. And I have no worries. That's why I'm not going to compare. Compare is not the right word. I'm not going to judge anything that happens until next season. If we stay up, I'll carry on with. I'll judge on our improvement. If we go down, I'll judge how we do. We're not going to go down and do what Luton are doing. I just don't see it. Yeah, I see us going down and competing like Burnley did, and Burnley are doing whatever. And that would give us a better springboard coming back up with an already half-built side. You know, you had Alex Crook going, oh well, comparing us and bloody Southampton. I'm thinking, yeah, well, 2 years ago, Southampton were in the Premier League and we were in League One. So you exactly. Can't compare. You know, they went down with a Premier League squad. It wasn't a very good Premier League squad, I admit, but they went down with a Premier League squad and a potload of cash. We went up with a League One squad and not able to spend any cash. There's huge differences. I sent it back and he blocked me. You know, but I don't know why people come out with opinions when people put a counter narrative out there and say, "Look, you're wrong there. Just look at the facts," and they don't like them. You know, the top and bottom is. I think we are disappointed that we've not got enough points. I think we could have nicked Fulham. We probably could have nicked Aston Villa. We've had some bad results, I admit, against like Everton and that, but we're learning. Everybody's learning. The manager's learning. The players are learning. The fans are learning. You
Yeah,
know,
I think today felt like we actually had, well, not 3 points in the bag, but certainly we had 3 points in our hand, didn't we? And it's kind of been snatched off us a little bit.
but do you ever have 3 points in your hand in the Premier League?
Probably
You know what I mean?
not. Certainly not with Towns defending, Steve. Certainly not with Towns defending.
Teams 4-0 up and not win. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a frantic, fast league. Yeah. There are things you can do, and that's one thing. And the commentary I had on it's one thing that they mentioned. Yeah, is that you can't lose concentration for a minute, and some of our players do lose, especially at the back. They lose concentration, and you can't. The top defenders in this league are switched on for 90 minutes. As soon as you lose concentration, they'll skin you. And we saw that today. Our players lost concentration, but straight ball straight in, boom. You know. And how they gave it an own goal to Harry Clark for that. I'm sorry, you can't.
No, it's going in anyway.
Going in. He might as well have just left it then.
Yeah.
Goals for that. He might as well have just left it.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so, well, I'm not having an own goal on me name. You know, pathetic. What do you expect him to do? Stand there and go, well, I'm not having an own goal, so I'm going to let it go in. You know, no, he's going to try and keep the ball out, which he did, and I think he did try. He didn't do too bad, actually.
What was the stat they gave him and Jan Benderick now of scored an own goal, given a pen away, and been sent off in the same game? Yeah. What a hat trick! All right, Steve, I'm going to let you go, mate. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I've got Leando coming in. Everybody, have a good one, Steve. We'll see you tomorrow, maybe. All the best. Lee, how you doing? Are you on? I was expecting you to be lying on the floor after that, but it appears that you're in a seat.
No. I don't know. I'm emotionally drained. We're going to have this all season, aren't we?
Yeah, well,
every game, even 2-0 up, and Stephen said, when are you ever likely to feel comfortable in the game? We're not going to have that. All the rest of the games, the other.
Did you feel comfortable 2-0? Did you feel comfortable 2-0? Did you think we were going to go on and win at 2-0? Or did you think you were just waiting?
A long way to go.
It's a long way to go. Yeah, it was.
And
certainly when Sonics missed the chance to go 3-0 up. But
I just think that going back to what you're saying, can we go on and win the game from there? Yeah, at 2-0, and then that third chance, you think, oh, that could have buried the game. I'm not even sure at 3-0 in the Premier League.
It might not have done after what we've just seen.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just the way that we can see goals, because we're not that sort of team that's gonna grind out every week. I know we did at Brighton, but we just don't. We're just not that type of team. And at 2-0, we've got carved open twice before half time, and we really easily. Well, I say easily. I mean, they were good moves, but we got carved open, and our centre backs weren't good enough today, were they? So it's a struggle, and I feel a bit sorry for Harry Clark to some point, because I thought he was having a decent game. I really thought he was doing okay.
Agreed. I thought he was as well.
And he's linking into the attacks and that more, but that's naive defending. But I hate V.A.R, and Colin will listen to this later, and I keep messaging him about it. We're getting the wrong side of V.A.R every time.
Yeah, it's been our friend over the last 7 days. That's true.
Yeah, Man City, for example, V.A.R. One is reviewed, another one isn't.
Yeah,
and the penalty today, I don't fully understand all the rules, but how is that clear and obvious? And that is down to discretion. V.A.R. shouldn't be making discretionary decisions, in my view. It's black and white. The second goal, the equaliser, is onside. Good. That's what it's there for. Black and white decisions. It's not black and white. I mean, he should just, and a bit like our penalty we didn't get last time. How's it clear and obvious? The game is being refereed by someone sitting in a room somewhere. It's not being refereed.
Yeah, they wanted to get away from re-refereeing the game, didn't they? But I mean, certainly we've been on the end of the decisions. I suppose they are clear and obvious in a way. I mean, last week, Clark makes contact with McNeil and the referee thought it was the other way around. And then today, referee thought it was a free kick. And they go as a clear and obvious that it was actually the foul was in the box, although albeit, as Steve rightly says, it does start outside the area. So where's the end point? Where's the start point and the end point, I guess? But
I mean, once he's fouled him, he's leaning on him. Where else is Clark going to go at that point? He's made the foul. The foul's going to continue because they're going head to head, or they're side to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. So I mean, it wasn't like it sived him down or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, so that, I mean, that goes against us. But I mean, looking at the positives, I thought Hurst played really well. I thought he did a shift, and when I saw the team,
Yes, he did very well. Yeah,
and when I saw the team, I wasn't too despondent, because I thought, well, we've got the best two midfielders starting. My only concern was we had nothing off the bench to support them.
2 keepers. That's the bare bones we was that.
Yeah.
Just quickly, just butting in, I actually say all pens are reviewed. Well, I actually think the referee gave a free kick originally, didn't he? And it changes to the pen. After they reviewed it. But yeah, actually, we know what you mean. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, Hurst, I thought Hurst played very well today. I thought his goal reminded me very much of the goal at Stadium of Light last season, albeit with a dink finish rather than into the top of the net. But it was very same kind of exquisite finish, I thought. He did very well.
Yeah.
There was a question mark over Hurst. And I suppose Brentford is an opposition that lends itself to giving you open spaces, hence we go 2 up. But it kind of suited him, didn't it? It was a good game for him to make his Premier League, starting debut.
Yeah, I think so. We saw a bit more of the side from the last 2 seasons today.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But I think you're right, and I've made the note of that about Brentford. They play a little bit more open. There was a lot more space than you'd say get against Everton the week before. Every game is completely different. You can't say, oh, we should play like that every week. Well, the opposition doesn't allow you to play perhaps that certain way, give you the space. So it was an open. It was an open game that way. But Chaplin, I thought, did really well, because it was his style of game, because he could find those pockets of space, and there was more space for him to play. And what a ball! What a ball for the second goal.
He played well, and he captained the side. I do wonder whether or not he would have even featured in the starting 11 had Amaro not been taken ill this morning. Well, we probably won't know that, but he did he's done all right there, isn't he? He's not someone who's hardly featured this season. Suddenly got the captain in the armband, but he played very well. And like you say, he was given the space to be able to do that. And I think Brentford kind of tightened that up, didn't they?
Yeah. And Smodic's goal again, another good goal on the counter.
When he's central,
played really well.
But I mean, look, I know we was debating on Discord this morning. I kind of I watched a few of his goals this morning on YouTube and thinking, if he does start on the left-hand side, and he makes that diagonal into the box where he is central, and then again today you see, like you saw against Man City, ball puts through. He's a great finisher, one-on-one. If only he'd been able to. I mean, he done very well to pressure the defender and nearly makes it 3-0. And as the American TV commentary said, it was Tony Gale on Peacock, said that was probably an easier chance than the one he actually scored.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a good save. I mean, you give credit for the save as well.
Yeah,
I don't think you can do. I mean, the only thing you do is does he smash it into the top rather than high rather than low? But you can't knock him for that. And we had other chances as well. So I thought they all played well, and I liked Phillips. And
he done well today. I've been critical of him, but I thought he did very well today. Now, whether or not that was, as I said to Steve, whether or not that was because he felt he had to make more of an impact because Morsey wasn't there, maybe.
Maybe he took Morsey's role because
potentially
Cajuste, he's our best midfielder on the ball.
He should be as well at 43 million quid.
Yeah, well, he needs to play. If he's fair, he needs to play. I think the 2 that we saw today would be our 2 going into the season.
Yeah.
However great Morsey is, and it's not a blight on him, but I think if Phillips comes good, then the 2 that started today are the best 2.
Yeah, he done very well, Phillips. I mean, it was a great through ball, wasn't it? That starts the opening goal, and then he does that block right at the death inside the box.
Yeah, he's done a couple. I think he had a couple of others earlier on as well. Yeah. So
maybe
he's had to step up to the plate a little bit more and play that role that Morsey's played. And then Delap. I mean, what can you say?
There was rumours yesterday going around on social media that he was injured and wouldn't play, but he makes the bench. So then you wondered to yourself, is he like 50% fit, 60, 70? When he comes on, scores, it's the bloody post. I mean, that's him probably with a knock, I think.
Yeah, well, I think, you both touched on earlier, he's a different profile of striker. And you get something different from him. And I think when you're away from home, when you've got the space, it might mean that you're trying to link the play up a little bit more with Hurst. So keep a little bit tighter. Because I thought we looked, even though we've conceded 4 goals, I thought we looked a lot solid. That team looked a lot more like an away team for me. Because Hurst would maybe hold the ball up and bring players in a little bit more. Delap's more give me the ball and I'm going to charge through and score. Slightly different roles. And
I think with Hurston, you're right. I think, sorry, Lee. I think with Hurston, you're right. And it very much looked like the side that came through the Football League, didn't it? In terms of going forward and scoring on, back to forward very quickly. What was it? Phillips to Hurst to Smodix, 3 passes, 4 at the most, rather than this kind of stat padding we call it, don't we?
Yeah.
It was a great option to bring off the bench though, to that. Just what we needed, really. That boost.
Well, I think, it's really interesting because I thought this week, although we had a lot of injuries, we had more impact to come off the bench, like to chase a game, than we did the previous week at Everton, because all the finishers were all on the pitch at the same. You had all your flair on, all the flair was on at the start, and you got nothing to really change the game if the game opens up and stretches. So I thought today that looked a little bit better. Obviously we've missed Axel. You don't realise how good someone is until he's not there, particularly on that defensive side. I don't think he'd have got done the way Clark did, but I think you're a little bit more limited going. There's a little bit more limitation going forward with that. So God knows who's going to play right back next week. Probably Burns.
Probably going to be, well, I would imagine they'll probably stick O'Shea over there and put Wolf, will be like what they did against Everton, I suppose. O'Shea over there. I mean, he had, as Chris Hall said to me, he has played quite a few games for West Brom at right back, so he's used to playing it. But of course, he's a centre half. It's a square peg round hole, isn't it? And I would imagine it'll be Wolfenden and Burgess, and then Leaf on the left. Very finally, Lee, where do you stand on the Muric argument? A lot of comments here saying bring back Walton. I mean, what disappointed me really, whether or not he was getting instructions from the sidelines, I don't know. But every time we had the ball in that 7 minutes of added time, even though it looks very impressive, he's throwing the ball from his 6-yard box over the halfway line. We were just giving the ball back to Brentford, which then invited the pressure on. But I felt sorry for him really, because he thinks O'Shea's going to head that away. I mean, if you watch the replay from sort of on one of the other angles, you can see him looking at O'Shea thinking he's going to head this, and then
stop the cross.
Stop the cross. I mean, that is what the centre halves are for, right?
Well, to head it, but to stop him crossing it in the first place. It was too easy. We were sitting back, inviting it. I mean, hindsight's a great thing, but it's one of those. And let's not forget, Muric made some terrific saves today. He kicked it well. We didn't look. There wasn't many times where I thought, too many calamities. The one that was passed back to him from Phillips wasn't his fault. That was or Cajuste passed him back one, and him and the forward both missed it. Do you remember? Then Phillips came in and cleared it away.
Phillips, came through.
So that back pass, that's not his fault. But he made that sharp save down to his right, which was a great save. He had the 1-on-1, which he saved. You're going to have to persevere with him. He's just he's a better goalkeeper than Walton.
It comes down to profiles, like you said. Like we said earlier, Hurst and Delap comes down to profiles. They want to play out from the back. Which gives you that. Walton doesn't give you that, unfortunately, or not to the level that McKenna demands. Anyway. Yeah,
I don't think fault for the gut. It's just one of them. It's one of them. It's just horrible. One of them.
Yeah.
And would he have got that? If there hadn't been someone sort of jumping in front of him, I didn't think it was too obvious that O'Shea was going to get it. So, but he was going backwards, wasn't he?
Mm.
He does look. There was one time he should have come for a cross, and I think Clark headed it out or something that was a deep cross that he started to come and then went back. So he's got that about him. He doesn't seem 100% assured when he goes for everything, but I don't think you can lay too much blame at him overall for the game.
Be interested to see what McKenna says. He'll probably be doing his press conference in a minute. Just finally, to end on a positive, we've scored 3 goals away from home. Nearly scored 4. Delap hits the post. So at least that's, I've been saying we've been gun shy, a little bit toothless. We certainly didn't look like that today, and that was with a team that was kind of probably, certainly the bench was bare bones. I mean, we just said it earlier, didn't we? We had 2 keepers on that bench, and I think a lot of people looked at that side today and thought it looked a bit of a Football League team, but it's given Brentford. It's gone 2 up at Brentford, and it's unlucky to lose 4-3 with 10 men at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, and the changes might freshen up a bit. If you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get the same results a lot of times.
Yeah,
so I do that. Again, the team didn't worry me. The only thing that worried me about the team was the central midfield, because we've got 3 of them out. Where there was, we've got 5 central midfielders. They can all come in and play at this level compared to the squad is what I mean. So there's no one in the squad you're looking at and thinking, oh my God, we're not going to bring him in. You know, there's enough level there within the to have a almost a like for like replacement. So that doesn't concern me too much. I agree with a lot what Stephen says, but when he says, "Oh, I didn't expect too much today," we're 9 games into the Premier League season. We've got to start expecting something from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, we can't just keep going.
Yeah.
We just can't keep going. And I thought we would get a result today. I really did. Even with that team.
You thought 3 points. Or you'd have taken a draw?
I just felt that some of how football goes, that Brentford were on this great run and at home, and then we've got all these injuries. You just feel like that might just sometimes just jolts a team into action. And
you were right. You were right at the start.
Had we been a side that had come through the leagues, been pragmatic and really, really been able to not concede goals, then yes. But we've conceded a lot. We're now one of the highest conceding teams, probably.
Yeah.
So at 2-0 away from home or 2-0 at any time, I didn't think of that. I didn't expect us to win. I just thought, look, the game's the game. Get to half time, then you feel a bit more confident. But of course, it's 2-2 by half time. But positives, we just keep going, don't we? And and be realistic about where we are and just try to enjoy it. I think if we'd have picked up a win somewhere and we'd have a win already in, then this game you would be a bit more pragmatic about it. But it does hurt a little bit more because the longer it goes on, the harder it is.
The nature of the fate, isn't it?
Yeah, and Delap, I mean, why doesn't that the width of the post? Forget all the other goals.
Yes.
All what's gone on right at the very death. If that would have gone in, what a story that would have been. And the one at Fulham, Brighton as well. So
yeah,
the future's looking bright.
All right, Lee. Let's leave it there.
Yeah,
Good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah.
Listen, we'll be back tomorrow, everyone. Remember, the clocks go back tonight, everybody. So don't be late tomorrow. We're going to be back at 1 o'clock. I think it'll be me and Rich Chandler hosting the show tomorrow. So if you want to come back and discuss it all again, we'll be there. Let's sleep on it, see what we think, see what McKenna says. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that Benny isn't too serious, but stretchered off. But have a good evening, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow lunchtime. All the best, yeah?
Well.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down low and I get blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I felt went crazy from just the thought of you. A long